Hey everybody, I'm going to do something a little bit different on this video today. I've decided I want to make some strawberry wine. Now I got the recipe from Mick Portney, the Compost King, as he's dab hand at making his own wines from his own fruit and things. So I thought, I've got a demijohns, I've got fermentation tanks, why not give it a go? So I have done this in the past with ciders, with apples, from your own apples. It was a success. I had a strong alcohol content. Didn't taste very nice though, needed a spoonful of sugar. But this is where the strawberry wine comes into its own play. So it's a different recipe. I'll show you the recipe, show you what all of this is, and then I'll actually show you the fruit and everything, what I've done with the fruit, because it needs to be destalked and washed and things. What you need here is you need 1 kilogram of demerara sugar, some citric acid, Camden tablets, yeast nutrient, and also some pectolose. You also need some wine finings and also some Gerwin Universal Wine Yeast. All of these comes together to make strawberry wine. You also need the strawberries, which I've got cleaned off and ready to destem and also take the center sections out. And here is the recipe. So I'll just hold that there so you can have a quick read. You can also make this for raspberry as well. So 1.8 kilograms of fully ripe strawberries, 1 kilogram of sugar, demerara sugar, 1 teaspoon of citric acid, 1 teaspoon of pectolose, Gerwin yeast, half a teaspoon of tannin, quarter of a teaspoon of Minivan nutrient. Don't have any of them, so I'm not putting any in. Once again, Camden tablets, water to the gallon, and finnings. And as you can see there, I'm going to read through what it is that we need to do. So as you can see there, the first task is to remove the stalks and hulks. Wash the fruit and place in a clean white bucket. Pour on 5 pints of boiled boiling water and then mash the strawberries into a plastic spoon. So let's get on with that to start with. Right, that's all of these destemmed and also the pips and everything taken out. The stems out in the middle and the green out at the top. Now this is something I got off Facebook the other day. It's a passata maker. So basically this, you put obviously tomatoes in and you make passata. And that's exactly what I'm after. So I'm going to put all of these through here into there. I'm going to put them in the boiling hot water, and I'll tell you how much we're going to need. So after putting it through the passata maker, this is what I'm left with. Looks like strawberry passata. So what I do with this is basically what it states on the instructions there is you put them strawberries into obviously a fermentation tank with 5 pints of boiling hot water and just loosen them off and just break them up. And that's what it states on there. But I've obviously used the passata maker for a bit more ease of use. So what I'll do now is I'm going to boil the water, put the water in here, mix this into with the water, and then I'll leave it to cool down. As soon as it cools down, I'll start adding the yeast and the citric acid and the nutrient as well. And this is what it looks like after the 5 litres of water have been added. And it's all broken down. So leave this to cool down before I put the other goodies in. It smells absolutely delightful. Okay, so it's been a few hours now and the mixture is cooled right down. What I've got in here is I've got 1 teaspoon of pectolose, 1 teaspoon of citric acid, 1 teaspoon of yeast, and also a small little bit of yeast nutrient as well. So I've just put that all into there. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take this in here. I'm just going to sprinkle it into the mixture, making sure that it all goes in. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to give it a stir. Give it a good stir, and then I'll put the lid back on. Leave it in a room with temperatures between 18 and 22 degrees centigrade and leave that for 3 days, stirring it daily. After 3 days, we're going to get it put into the demijohn, and I'll show you them next. So it's been 3 days. I've been mixing this up daily. So each day I've just given it a quick mix around. So far, all the sediment has went to the bottom of the tank, as you can see the different lines here. What I need to do now is I need to get a demijohns. If you've never seen a demijohn before, this is what a demijohn looks like. So that's a demijohn. And what I need to do next, I've got my funnel. I've also got my jug here, because the next task is going to be to add a pint of hot water into here, and then I'm going to dissolve the 1 kilo of Demerara sugar into that jug there. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to pop all of the mixture from here into the demijohn, leaving it 7/8 full, and then I'll add this in as well. Now I might have enough for just one, or might be enough for two, I don't know. I'll have to wait and see what happens. So let's get this done. So what I did there was, I've got some muslin cloth, which is, they say it's something else you're going to need, which I totally forgot about. You can get that from like eBay and stuff like that. All I've done is strain off the large pulp and just squeeze it lightly, so that I got all the juice that's left in there. This now will go in the compost bin, or you can put it in the bin, or you can use it for anything else. I don't even know, to be quite honest, but that's byproduct, so I don't need that anymore. Next task, which you can use a siphon kit. Basically, what it stated to do was to siphon off into the demijohn, but I don't think me having 2 tanks here would be very much more helpful. So I'm going, now I've got the strained juice, what I'm going to do is I need to wait for the sugar mix to cool down before I can add it to the demijohn. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to pop the juice that's in here into the sterilised demijohn. I do have a siphon somewhere, but I'm just going to try and pour it in. Hopefully I don't make too much of a mess. See what happens. So as you can see there, I've got too much. So what I'm going to have to do here, I'm going to have to half this mixture, and by the time I put the sugar in, because the sugar and that pint of water, we're getting another, basically not 2.5 pints there, so that should be enough to cover for 2 demijohns. So this measurements that I've provided so far ought to fill 2 demijohns up. So I'm going to clean the other one out, and then I'm going to pop that back into the tank, and then pour the sugar in with it, and then fill both tanks up. Then that's half and half, and we should be basically half and half, unless I do half of this mixture, half of that mixture, and then put the sugar in, which I probably will do, because that'll be more of an even match. Right, I'm re-having away now. Let's crack on. So now what I'm going to do, and now that this is cooled down, I'm going to now pour all of this into this jug here, making sure that it's all in there. And what I'll do, I'll give it a good stir, making sure that it's a good mixture, so that I get a good consistency basically. And once this is all mixed, I'll put it back in the demijohns. So as you can see, like I said, I've got a bit of space left in here, and I had a bit of sugar left in the jug here as well, which didn't fully dissolve. So what I've done is I've just filled this up with boiling water. I've let it stand and cool for a while, and all I'm going to do is just top this up till it's 7/3 full. 7/8 should I say. Make sure they're both the same. Just a bit more there. I've done a good job of that. And that's them both done. And then all I need to do now is just bung the top on, making sure that's on tight. You can wet around the top just to make sure that the top is secure. Move that. Don't be pushing down the glass. So that is 1. That is 2. They're both half full. So we should start seeing fermentation over the next couple of days. So I'll see how these progress on. The next lot of instructions indicate. So once you've done that, more than 7 days full, minimise waste from excess frothing, fit an airlock and continue to ferment, topping up the jar with a little cooled boiled water when the vigorous frothing dies down. Well, I did a little bit beforehand, so you can do the same thing again. So when the fermentation stops and the wine is dry, siphon it off into a sediment, off the sediment into a sterilised demijohn and add 1 crushed camelin tablet. I'll just be doing it back into the fermentation tanks, and then once that's been done, after 2 weeks I'll rack it again, add another camelin tablet, and then I'll add the finings or the finings, which are these things here. Then after when the wine is crystal clear, it can be siphoned into bottles and corked. Then it can be left for 6 months come Christmas, and we'll see what comes of it. But at the moment I've got an opportunity now to actually make some rhubarb wine as well, so I'm going to get started with that another day, but it's a good start with the strawberry wine. We'll see what happens with it. So it's the morning after the night before. These have been, the sugar and everything's been put into these for about 12 hours now. And as you can see on the top, you can see it's starting to develop like a foam section across the top. That's the yeast and the sugar, eating the sugar to create the alcohol. And as you can see at the top here, the bubbles are coming along. That's the excess gas being released. Now give this another week, this will be bubbling like crazy. One thing I don't want to do though, the foam to go right up the top and up the top. So if that does happen, I need to put some boiled cool water in. But not bad for 12 hours. Okay, so it's been 2 weeks now. It's been a couple of weeks and the fermentation is slowly stopping. You see, still a little bit of bubbling, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to rack this off into a sterilised bin here. Now I'm just going to place it one crushed camelin tablet in, give it a mix around, then clean out these jars and put it back in, and then leave it until the fermentation and the bubbles stop completely. So what I've got here as well is a siphoning kit, once again from Wilko's. What I do is just place this, it fits perfect in a demijohn, straight down, and then that'll not go over the sediment as well. Siphon this out, so bear with us and I'll start this action. It's got a little cap on as well so I can stop and start it, but I need to get it going of course. So there you go. Leave this to siphon through, and then once it's siphoned through, I'll do the second one. I'll show you the pulp at the bottom. Right, that's them sorted. I've got the easiest way to crush the camelin tablet is through 2 spoons. So I'm going to get this crushed through and I'm going to pop it into the mixture now. So there it is there. Sprinkle in there and that's all done. So as you can see there, that's all the gunk on the bottom. That's the stuff I'm going to get rid of. There's a bit of juice in there, but I don't want to be mixing that in. Already cleaned one off. Time to get this mixture back into them demijohns. Okay, now just racking it back into the tub there. Looks nice. See, it's still bubbling. I've just got it on a chair there, just to bring it from there, just to down. Bit of suck action, never hurt anybody. So that's going into there, and I'll show you when it's all filled up. And there we go, back in the demijohns. Lost a bit, but never mind. When I was siphoning it out, didn't get a mouthful. Tastes bloody lovely. I checked the alcohol content with my hydrometer here, just to see what it was like, and it's sitting at 5% volume, which is alright. That's what I'm after. So this will get left to settle, then I'll rack it again in 2 weeks time, and then it'll get bottled up, and then once it's been bottled up, I'll leave it for up until Christmas. So that's it. That's the process of making it. I'm going to get this video uploaded so you can all have a look, and then I'll keep you up to date come Christmas time on how it turns out in its totality. So not bad for a first attempt. It actually tastes like wine. So I hope you've enjoyed this video. I hope it gives you some inspiration to try it as well, because if you don't try it, you're never gonna know. I'm gonna make mistakes and I will learn from them. I'm looking forward to making some other fruit wines moving forward as well. So thanks again. See you next time.